What's up, guys? So I love it when the truth always finds its way out. You can lie and you can tell stories, but the truth has a way of eventually, there's a lag time, but the truth always comes out. I'm sure there's times where it hasn't, but for the most part, when you tell stories and tell agendas, eventually people find out. Davey Coombs and MX Sports are finding that out the hard way. Glen Helen has released some information that is hazardous to their storytelling and the narrative they're painting about why there's no Glen Helen National. But I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into Hayden Deegan and the star test at Southwick. They understand how important this race is. So they went there and did a test last week, or like Monday, Tuesday, I think. They rented the track, and I know how fast they were. So I'm going to share that with you guys. And World Supercross finally has a schedule. A lot of people are like, kind of negative towards the series. Don't. We need it. Competition breeds look at the monopoly that these guys have on the sport right now. If they have competition, if nothing else, it makes them kind of better. But I'm going to get into that and more. Remember, guys, subscribe. The channel's doing really well, but for some reason, people get unsubscribed. I don't know. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but it happens. It happened. I have another account, which was my MMA channel, and I had subscribed to this channel. It unsubscribed me from my own channel. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It's kind of frustrating. If any of you computer guys out there or anyone that works at YouTube watches this, come on, man, help me out.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So Glen Helen and Bud Feldkamp have had enough of the Davey Coombs spin show. They are telling this narrative and trying to paint Bud like this crazy man that's irrational when they don't actually share why the real reasons the National didn't happen. If you go to Glen Helen's website and click on the MX National link, there's a breakdown. Now, these are little summaries of what happened on those dates, and that shows you an entire timeline of how this thing fell apart. Now, I've seen the emails behind those little boxes. They're accurate. That is an accurate depiction of what both sides had said. I would stand by that, and clearly they stand by that. They put it on their website. I wasn't going to share that. I have had that for a long time, and like I said, I have the emails behind that. I have even more information, but everything there is all you really need to know. So don't take my word for it. Head over to Glen Helen's website. I'll put a link in the description of this video. Go see how this thing broke down, and you tell me who's telling a lie. I was shocked that Glen Helen did this. I don't know legally what it does, but I'm sure Bud Feldkamp has got some good lawyers and he's willing to take on MX Sports and Coombs. But this is devastating to MX Sports and Davey Coombs. They have been telling the brands, the manufacturers, why this hasn't happened and why Bud Feldkamp is irrational and why Bud Feldkamp this. And he never really admitted it's about money and it's about us. And the manufacturers, Pro Circuit, Troy Lee, all these people that went to that luncheon, and even the KTM, Roger DeCoster, they all want to go to Glen Helen. But Davey has spun this story of it won't happen because Bud's crazy, which is not true, as you can see right here. Now, all those people that Davey has been lying to, those partners of the series that he has built his business model on, you think they're going to trust him next time he says something? Yeah, that whole smiley face Davey Coombs and shucks, I just do this for nonprofit. Take a look at those numbers and you tell me if it's nonprofit. This could be a turning point. This could be a turning point where, these brands and these teams realize how much money they're leaving on the table, how much money they spend to go racing, and how much is coming back their way. They could totally offset their budgets if they just looked at this and just said, hey, we need this, this, and this. They could change the entire complexity of the series, because without the brands and the manufacturers, this series is nothing. Just ask World Supercross. They're trying to get things going, and they've been blackballed from the manufacturers because of some dirty dealings. But you can't get the best riders because the money all comes from the brands. It doesn't come from the races or the purse. It comes from the brands. And if you want to know how these guys do business at MX Sports, just take a look at their head man, Tim Cotter. And I'm going to show you a couple clips right here. This is everything you need to know. And remember the whole debacle about Grant Langston, and they were forcing him to do the thing that Tim Cotter is showing off right here? Yeah, they're a part of that. So just so you know, that's who we're dealing with here. I had people hit me up saying, oh, you were promoting it and this and that. No, I wasn't. When I had the virus and I just about died, while I was in the hospital, I had nurses, doctors, everyone telling me, you're going to die because you didn't do this. And, after, a couple weeks of just about dying, losing, a tremendous amount of weight, and you can go back and see the video. I still never said make it mandatory. I said,
I'm not here to tell anyone it needs to be mandated. I'm not here to tell anyone what they should do with their own body, but
that was 2 weeks out. People like this company supporting it has really done damage to our country, not only our racing series. So anyway, I'll get off of that. If you want to know more about that, click on the Hazmat Chimaev video on my MMA channel. If I have controversial stuff like that, I'm going to do it over on that channel. If you haven't checked out the Coach Rob podcast, I strongly recommend it. He's got one, Navigating Amateur Motocross. They had Andrew Short on this month with Derek Harris, and they just help you kind of tell you things you'll have to deal with as an amateur racer. And it's not an easy system to navigate. It's expensive, it's frustrating, but they can help you kind of avoid some of the pitfalls. So head over and give Coach a subscribe and check that out. Epic Garage Designs. Get your 2-car garage floor. You can get solids for $19.99 and the vented for $2,100 shipped to you. These things are awesome. I strongly recommend you go order a floor. And if you have a bigger than a 2-car garage, just call. Travis will work you out a deal and, kind of keep the same pricing, but we can get you dialed in on whatever measurements your garage are. Hit up epicgaragedesigns.com. Ride Strapped, a goggle company that does not sue tracks. Yes, I can proudly say Strapped will not sue your local track, and they will not frivolously exploit the sport. They're a good company that makes good product and gives good customer service. So go to Ride Strapped and get your new goggles. Precision Transport, a family-owned trucking company. These guys believe in customer service, reasonable pricing, and just doing business the right way. And if you've dealt with trucking companies, you understand they're not nice. Precision Transport is. Hit them up at pretransport.com. So Southwick is next weekend. Deegan, this is the weakest track that he has. He has not had a history of riding very well at Southwick. He put in some decent rides, but a decent ride for him is, 5th place. With the confidence and endurance that he has, I see him in the top 5. But the test they did there last Monday, they brought in the new rider, Max Anstey. Max Anstey is a GP rider, a sand specialist, and at Southwick, he was 6 seconds a lap faster than Hayden Deegan. 6 seconds a lap. Will that translate over the race? I don't know. We all know Max Anstey is an extremely fast practicer. We've heard, flying at the track all the time, but 6 seconds is a lot. Now, does that mean Max is going to go 1-1? Or is Deegan that slow? I would say probably Max is that fast. This guy's gone, he went 1-1 at Lomo in the GPs against Jeffrey Hurlings and some of the best in the world. I look for Max to go out there and give Tom Vial fits. Now, Tom Vial has got a lot of pressure on him right now. He has to go out there and win and gain a significant amount of points on Hayden Deegan, or he's really kind of surrendering this championship. Like I said, he's not out of it, but he won't really be able to win it anymore. He has to wait for Deegan to lose it. Finally, we have a World Supercross schedule. So we need the World Supercross series to at least exist. If for nothing else, to keep these other series honest. The whole reason they have this super motocross and actually pay the riders pretty well at the super motocross events is because of the threat of World Supercross. Competition holds these guys accountable. If you don't have a rider union and you don't have all these things, what you can do is you have competition. Competition, if you can go over here and get, nobody's going to pay a lot when somebody can't go somewhere else. But if somebody can go somewhere else, it's natural selection and it will drive it up and they will get better. So whether you like World Supercross or not, support it simply for the fact that it will make this sport here better. Despite what they tell you, it will not ever replace it, but it will add to it. Who doesn't want to watch more racing and who doesn't want to have different series? And I think it's a good thing, and I don't think it's going to take away from anything that we currently have. It is just an addition. Thanks, guys, and here is the Instagram clip of the day. Thanks, and I'll catch you later.